Hello there. I want to have a chat to you today about the West Coast Regional Council. These guys right here. In fact, I want to talk to you specifically about their chairman, Alan Birchfield. This guy in the Trump hat. You can see where this is going, right? Now, Alan Birchfield is a Nepo Baby at his age. He's been involved with Regional Council for 22 years now, and he's been chairman since 2019. And this week, the council made moves to remove him as chairman, which isn't something that we see very often. You see, your local body councils, you actually vote in people for the mayor and the council, and then things like deputy mayor are sort of handed out. Whereas for regional councils, everybody is voted in, and then that council chooses who's going to be the chairman, and they vote for that. This council, for the last two terms, has voted him in as chairman. And Alan has an interesting past if the Trump hat didn't give that away. You see, he owns coal and gold mines. During the height of COVID, he actually campaigned to Eugenie Sage to make sure that gold mines were considered an essential service because of what he considered the China virus. That's what he called it. Yes, he got a slap on the wrists from the Race Relations Commissioner for it. At the same time, he is a massive denier of things like man-made climate change. He's called it the biggest rot in history. Definitely not a fan. I wonder whether or not being a coal miner has anything to do with that. It certainly doesn't sound like the kind of person who would be totally unbiased about these things. He has a very storied history, like the fact that he was a big-time National supporter until he decided to run for ACT. You know, ACT might not be a racist party, but it's the party that racists seem to like for some reason. God only knows why. He also decided when he became chairperson to instigate prayer back into meetings because the idea of separating church and state don't seem to apply here, but also because he considers Christian morals to be the good morals. Again, his words, not mine. There have been issues of conflict of interest in the past which have been brought up that he's denied, and investigations have been going on for these sort of things. And at one stage, he claimed that Kiwi Bank was going out of their way to ruin the economy when they decided that they were no longer going to interact and work with things like fossil fuel companies, which he owns, a fossil fuel company. So I guess he felt personally attacked by that. Now, the interesting thing about Alan in the chairman role is, well, he's not going to be there for much longer. He's been away for the last couple of months for health reasons, which have been undisclosed. Not going to guess what they are. But in that time, the council has decided he's not needed in that job anymore. And whether or not that's because of his really weird, outlandish claims, his overt racism, or just the fact that he doesn't seem like a particularly pleasant person, not exactly sure, but on the 28th of this month, the council will vote to remove him from the chairperson's role. And that's when we get back into the area where you can't get rid of elected officials in this country without a really, really good reason. And it doesn't matter which council that they're on. Getting rid of him as an elected official, not going to happen at all. His absences have been explained. There's reasons for it. And being a racist fossil fuel provider doesn't necessarily mean that he can't do his job. He must represent some section of the community because he got elected back in many, many, many times. But the council feel that they need to get rid of him in that chair position. And perhaps a fossil fuel provider who doesn't believe in man-made climate change, calling it the biggest rot in history, is probably not the best person to be in charge of an environmental committee who have a focus on protecting the natural environment.